this is John Cola with GrowingYourGreens.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and today just got back from a soil place locally where I'm actually having my soil mixed up, and they're going to be delivering it tomorrow, so I'm a bit dirty. But I thought I'd make a response video to a question I got. I don't normally do this because if you have a question to ask me, there's one way to get it answered for sure, that is to support me in my Fiverr campaign, which I'll put a link right below this video. In my Fiverr campaign, if you pay me $5, I will offer you a 10-minute gardening coaching session where I'll answer any of your questions that you may have, so you can contact me directly. And all the money that I get from this Fiverr campaign goes back into the Fiverr community. I do not take a penny out of it to get my videos transcribed so that my message can reach more people out there, to educate them about gardening. Not only the hearing impaired, but also people that may live in a different country. And once it is transcribed, then Google or the YouTube has automatically translations into other languages, so they could hear me talk even though they might not be able to understand me. They could see the words in their language or fairly close approximation, so that they can actually get the gist of what I'm trying to share, because it is that important to me. If you do have a question that would like to be in an upcoming episode like this, the best place to post it is actually email it to me through the YouTube email system, or post it on my YouTube channel page under the discussion tab. I apologize, I can't answer each and every question directly. With all over 900 videos that I have up, I get tons of people requesting and having questions every day, and I just can't handle them all. I do try to give back and make all these videos for you guys because it is so important for me to teach what I have learned. In any case, let's get into today's question or comment. It's actually from Richard Sydenham. And we'll actually put a post up above here somewheres with actually his comment, and it basically says, John, if your soil is so good and your plants are healthy, why don't you get these, spelled T-H-E-A-S-E, bug issue, I-S-U-S, if they try on my plants, they go to my neighbor's, N-E-I-G-H-B-E-R-S, Garten, G-A-R-T-E-N. Something is wrong with your soil or plants normally because normally it's because of too much N. Look at the compost that you're using, U-S-E-I-N-G, or just use humus, H-U-M-U-S. I think I had some humus for dinner last night. All right, so, this was in reference to the last episode I posted where, I'm showing 3 ways, basically, where you're not spraying any kind of toxic chemicals to rid your bug of aphids, because I got some aphid issues, The first thing I want to say is that just because I'm a YouTube gardener, just because I have over 900 videos and I'm educated, over, 130,000 people that subscribe and follow my videos, doesn't mean, I don't have bug problems. I'm a normal, average guy, much like you. Everybody's got issues, and let me tell you, my shit stinks sometimes. And I got bug issues, and some of my plants are not optimally healthy. And some of your plants may not optimally be healthy either. So I like to have videos to show you guys provide you guys options on what you can do if you don't want to spray toxic chemicals, because I believe that is not an option to me. So in any case, let's talk about in this episode why somebody could have some issues in their garden with bugs, even if they have, good soil like I do. I add a lot of stuff to my soil, more than the average person, but still I got bugs. Is it all in the soil? Is the magic all in the soil? Well, I don't think so. And in this episode, I'm going to share with you guys those things. So the first reason why a plant could maybe not be as healthy as it can be is, number one, genetics. Think about it, just with human genetics, plants have genes too, and they have traits in their genes, and I'm not a genetic scientist or nothing like that. But basically, the health of a plant is only as health as of its genetics and the seed that it was grown on. So, under optimal conditions, I would like to save my own seeds that have been grown in rock dust with healthy soil, so then their offspring, my seed's offspring, are the healthiest of them all. Unfortunately, most seeds in this day and age they're just producing seeds to produce weight to sell the seeds that hopefully germinate and grow into new plants. So So the genetics might not be as healthy as they could be because the seeds were not given everything they need. So number one, just bringing any seeds or plants into your garden, you may not have optimal health just due to the genetics. I mean, the same could be similar with humans, what if like humans got blasted in Japan, where the nuclear bomb went off and stuff, and they got all deformed, and then, their babies, are they like messed up too, right? So it's a similar kind of thing, the plant genetics. In addition, some plant genetics, right, are resistant to funguses and diseases, VFN tomatoes, for example, or resistant to certain diseases where other varieties of tomatoes are not. So some plants are actually more resistant to bugs than others. So number one, genetics. Number two, besides just the seed or the genetics of the plant, number two is when you get your plants as a baby. Now we got some of my baby plants here that I'm going to be planting out soon in these raised beds, and I'll share with you guys what went into the soil that's going in these raised beds. Number two is once you buy your little transplants, or if you grow them yourself, if your plants get stressed out. So for example, these guys, I could look at these guys. I saw these guys in the nursery, and I saw them like, oh, John, don't get those. They're root bound. They have been stressed out because they should have been transplanted out of the pots a long time ago. So, I'm kind of like one of those girls, if you see like a lost kitty, that's really cute in the street, you're going to just take it in as your own and try to nurse it back to health. I don't take in kitties, but I take in plants. I did see this was on clearance for 98 cents for a 6-pack, and that's a pretty good price. And I said, let's give this a shot. This is a challenge to see if I could bring these plants back, from being root bound, from being in a container too long, to be healthy plants. So I want to show you guys one of these guys. We'll pop it out. I mean, look at the bottom of that, right? This is totally root bound. This is stressing the plant out because the plant's running the roots around in circles. It's probably, depleting the little soil block here of nutrients, and it's like the growth is stunted. It's totally opposite. It's fairly healthy. This is actually browning. This leaf is browning up. It's going to fall off soon. There's going to be very less growth in this thing. But I'm going to soon enough take this out, plant it in the highest quality soil, give it some good compost tea, tear out the roots a little bit, and hopefully it could recover. So, if your plants are stressed out, whether they're root bound when they're younger, such as this one, whether they're overwatered, not watered enough, whether they may have a nutrition inadequacy in their childhood, they may be more susceptible and not have the strongest immune system. One of the things I've learned about humans is that, from age 0 to age 10, right, what you eat and what you put into your body plays a big role in if you may get cancer later on in life. Because you're already putting yourself at a disposition if you're not eating the right foods, you're not nourishing your body when your body's, at its youngest point and growing and doubling your weight and whatnot. So, just like us, plants also need when they're a baby, it's very important to treat them properly so that they can fully flourish and thrive as an adult. And root-bound plants, not optimal, but I'm going to try to make these guys come back and hopefully they won't get attacked with aphids. So besides when your plant is a baby, once you plant your plant in the ground, once it has some what you think is fairly good soil, when they're an adult or living in the soil, once again, they can also be stressed out. It's quite unfortunate that I have a family member that commonly yells at another family member, and that family member that always gets the yelling is always stressed out. Or because he's always stressed out because somebody's always yelling at him, right? Maybe you have somebody in your family like that too, right? Yelling's not good. It doesn't solve anything. I've learned this at a young age. Because, this person is always stressed out, right? They're more apt to get sick because any kind of stress, whether it's job-related stress, somebody yelling at you stress, food stress, anything is going to weaken your immune system as a person. And guess what? It also weakens your plant's immune system. Not if you yell at them, that actually might help them based on some of the studies I've seen. But if the weather's too hot, it gets too cold, maybe they get too much water, too little water, not the right amount of nutrients. So many different things that can stress a plant out so that it will be more susceptible to getting bugs. And yes, I have a full garden in front of me, and yes, some of my plants have bugs and some of them don't. And what? Why is it different? I don't know. Maybe it's genetics. Maybe it's been stressing out when it was an adult. Maybe it was a stress out when it was a kid. You know, maybe there's something in that soil, in that area of certain plants that, you know, repels the bugs. Maybe it's companion planting. I don't know. I mean, I teach gardening online, but, you know, the thing is this, you know, while I tend to know more than the average person about gardening and growing food, I'm still a student. One of the sayings I like to say is, to become a better teacher, you must become a better student. So think about those astronomers, right? Once they think they know it all, like they know the whole universe, right? They can invent a new telescope, and there's more universes to discover and new names and all this kind of stuff, right? The universe is like infinite, and same thing with like math and a lot of the sciences, right? We're always learning new stuff, and just with plant biology and gardening and growing food, I'm always learning new stuff, and as I learn it, I'm sharing it with you guys. The next thing I want to say to Richard is, Richard, I would encourage you before, you know, making posts like this to make some videos to educate people about how to have perfect soil, how to, you know, have stress-free plants so that you don't get bugs instead of making, you know, a comment that has misspelled words. You know, I think that'd be much more valuable to people to try to teach and encourage people to do better than just make a comment, you know, oh, I got bugs, you know, my soil's not perfect. Well, yeah. You know, I got problems and issues like everybody else, right? Just because I got a YouTube channel doesn't mean shit. And I'm grateful that you guys watch me and you guys could learn as I learn and grow. So, of course, the last thing I want to touch on in this episode, besides some of the ways that I talked about how your plants can be negatively affected and have a weaker immune system, so they're not optimally healthy to resist the bugs, right? Because that's the model that I believe in. You know, I don't believe in the model like Pasteur. We all know who Pasteur is. He's the guy that invented penicillin. And, you know, the penicillin is the antibiotics. It kills the bad bacteria in your body, right? So Pasteur's rival at the time was Antoine Béchamp. And he believed not in the whole germ theory, like, oh, germs come and then you got to kill them, right, with antibiotics. He believed in the more what's called a terrain theory. And the terrain theory, what this is like, you know, if you're in New York City, right, and all the garbage collects, the rats come, right? The rats are only there because there's garbage being left out and the garbage collectors are on strike, right? So that's kind of like, you know, I believe in that, right? I believe that if you have a healthy body, you know, you're going to be more resistant to getting sick if you have healthy soil and your plants are not stressed out and you got good seed stock, good genetics, you know, your plants can be healthy. And, you know, nature is infinite, right? Like, there's so many things to know in nature. Nature is one of, you know, the world's most complex systems. I, for one, do not understand it. I have a kind of a grasp of kind of like how things work, but I don't exactly, you know why things work. And I'm still discovering that, actually. So, you know, although I add things like the compost, the fungal compost, which is good in the, you know, fungal microorganisms, the thermal compost for the bacterial microorganisms, I add things like the rock dust, which adds the trace minerals. I add different kinds of rock dust, soil humates, kelp. You know, I also add things like the worm castings that are high in microbiology activity, you know, bacteria and fungi and different things. I also add other beneficial organisms to my soil to help bring back my soil into how it should be. You know, I wish I lived next to forest and I could just all import forest soil from the forest that's healthy, that's been untouched by man. You know, unfortunately, I live in a concrete jungle where this soil has been turned, it's been had a lawn here, it's been sprayed with who knows what kind of Roundup crap and all kinds of stuff, right? And I'm just doing the best I can, and I try to share and inspire you guys to do the best you can, right? Just because I spend all this money on soil stuff doesn't mean I'm going to have no bugs. Hopefully I have less bugs than other people. And, you know, that's just how it goes. But I do want to say this. I did make a recent episode that you're going to have to stay tuned and subscribe to my videos for. And depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching this episode when it just came out, it's probably not going to be up yet, but maybe if you watch it, if you see this episode a month or two after it's been up for a while, the episode will be up. And I interviewed a gentleman who talks more about what is healthy soil. You know, just because you have healthy soil and put all good stuff in, does that mean your plants will be, you know, bug and disease free? Well, I will definitely say that your plants will have a higher probability of not getting sick, right? It's like, how often, you know, is your wife or your husband sick and you get sick? Well, yeah, sometimes they're sick, you don't get sick, but sometimes they're sick and you get sick, right? Well, why did you get sick, man? Maybe your immune system's not as strong as it could be. So I'm learning how to not only dial my immune system, but I rarely get sick, but also dial in my plant's immune system by stressing them out the least and providing everything in the soil that they need. And I'm going to have this one special nutrient that even if you're doing, what I call the food soil web, chart, and doing that to the best of your ability, you still may be lacking in something. And this is something that's not taught about. So I'm glad I'm going to be able to bring this to light to you guys in hopefully just a handful of episodes from now. So stay tuned for my YouTube channel to learn more about this secret thing that should be in your soil that's probably not. And once I get in the soil here and start treating my soil with this, I'm highly confident that my bug issues will be a thing of the past, and so will yours. So hopefully after watching this episode, you've learned a few things on why your plants could get bugs besides just the soil. Starting with the next episode, we'll be back on track with our normal episodes that I have lined up for you guys. I have a lot of cool things coming up. I've been on many different trips lately and installing this new backyard garden that you'll get to see. Upcoming episodes, step by step, how I'm building it, how I'm selecting what it's made out of, how I'm putting in the irrigation, how I'm filling it with soil, so that you guys, could do it too. I just try to be somebody that just shares my life on the camera to help and enrich others, and I'm hopefully doing that for you guys. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that I'm doing good work, and that I want you guys always to remember, keep on growing. Alright, this is John Colo with growingyourgreens.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and this one's going to be a quick one at that. What we're going to do today is show you 3 easy, non-toxic